Hey everyone, what you'll see today is not a layout video, however, it's the extension we're using now, VPO, or the Vietnam BIM objects. We will try to use it with an existing model that has no tags and has no name in the outliner. So I go to Window, Default Tray, and look for Outliner. In my case, I already have this outliner tray. Now, the first thing we will do is to arrange everything. If you see, I have my exteriors separated from my other stuff that makes it heavy or optional things. It's very easy to organize now into layers, but you have to follow Vietnam BIM objects workflow by right-click and then choose between general, building, or material elements where to put it. So for this, I need to put this into context. Import context tags. Now if you see, context tags have been loaded. Animal, geographic, human, vegetation, anything yung ginagamit nyo sa rendering, you can put it there. So for me, I choose to put it into geographic. So the color by tag is enabled so we can easily see what we were organizing earlier. This is part of the site development, so I'm going to put it under site element. I'll make this part of the road and then just keep on doing that until you're done. I won't be skipping so you can see exactly the whole process. This one, I usually call this carport and fencing or fencing and gates. This time we'll just put it under site element, which we could rename later on. So the problem with this is the groups are not really organized. So dapat, the walls are in groups. This is in a separate group as well. No problem. I can just press G for group. That's my own shortcut. If you don't have a shortcut, you can right click, make group. Right? So we'll focus on tagging them. General elements, site, element. Okay. Let's try to hide those that are already finished. Whatever this is, maybe geographic. This is a septic tank. You can put it under maybe site element as well. Actually, there are also elements or tags with inside the building elements. So if I import that, I check it, I have level 1, 2, and 3. And then I can arrange it if it belongs to plumbing or architectural. So let's try to import the plumbing tags and see what it has to offer. Pipe segment, waste terminal, distribution chamber. Maybe I'll call this the distribution chamber for now. Septic tank, okay? Alright. Next. This is the first floor interiors. Excluding this one, we'll fix that later on. Let's not tag that first, let's tag this one, the shell. Right click, building elements, level 1, architectural, import the tags. You can already see on my left side what tags are loaded. Before, we are doing this manually by doing that. There's no problem. But the nice thing with this extension is that you can just right click, ding, and click on wall. Now this is a subscription basis payment. However, since we're making the tutorials for them, they actually gave it to us for 3 seats or 3 computers. So we're using it in the office. However, I'm thinking, should I regalo ko sana sa mga apprentices if they are able to follow the workflow? If not, we'll see. Anyways, since I don't have enough time to tag everything like this for now, let's do that after. Okay, let's just hide it. Let's do that after the shell. Level 2 architectural wall. It gets tagged in a different color. And actually, what if you have a window here? Window is not part of the wall, right? So I could actually go there. Let's try 2. Right click. Level 2 architectural window. Does it work? Yeah, so what it did It's still level 2, if you can see. It's still in level 2 group, but it's separated from the wall, so you don't have to actually do the cut and paste method every now and then. And if you notice, the tags go into architectural window. So it already creates, you know, a tagging system. Could you see the one up there? Just a window. So we select them one by one because this has been exploded. Then if you add something like a decoration outside, you can call that the finishing wall as well. We are treating this just as a wall, generally. Even structural, actually, we can call this S column, just like in our workflow. Building elements, level 2, structural. Let's load the tags, do it again. Right click, building elements, level 2, structural, column. Okay, now if you keep continuing that and click on auto name, if you see on the right side everything says group, right? I'm gonna click on auto name. Cha-ching! All those groups are renamed according to the layer or the tag they were in. See that? Like our W4 is renamed into W4 because that was the entity information. Our wall had been added a material called brick. That's why if you go to the wall, there's another group again, because this whole thing is untagged, and then it will be assigned a material. Okay, let's check the ones we made a while ago, like this one. This is now called geographic. I can also actually rename this like to road, something like that. So if your tags already have the word road, then the group will be renamed. Why is this outliner important? It's very nice because when you generate a report, you can actually already see a summary of everything inside your model. You'll not have a very hard time with estimation and specs. So I actually have a template here, but let's just try. Very simply, you already have them. See, it's just component 4, component 47. It's very hard to identify, right? But if it's actually renamed, you can see like wall lamp, W4, window number 3, stair number 1, and it will be very easy for us later on. So let me undo this because I don't like it to be a generic term like building element. I want it to have names, alright? So let's finish that. There, until everything is named group again by default. So I could fast forward, building elements level 2, architectural wall. Window. Click, building elements, architectural window. Right click, building element, level 2, architectural stair. Right click, building elements, level 2, architectural shape. Right click, building elements, level 2, architectural finishing floor, or structural slab. This is slab. Okay. Put this as well. Click building elements level 2, architectural roof. Right click, wall. So my roofs are actually colored purple, ube. For this, let's try to go in first and just select the walls. It's been exploded, that's why. Actually, columns are supposed to be spread out here, as well as the beams. click Building Elements Level 3. Architectural wall. Oh no, something happened there. Right click Architectural window. I think this was supposed to be the door. Maybe I didn't load the correct door. It's a conceptual door. Right click Building Elements, Architectural shading. I'll turn this into cladding because that would be a tile, I guess. Oh, I have no cladding here. Interior equipment, structural plate. Well, I could consider it part of shading, but it would be a vertical shade. I'll just call this finishing wall, okay? Because it's outside of the roughing wall. Level 3, rail. Where's my railing? There, railing. And this is actually my finishing floor, so right click Level 3, architectural finishing floor. These are my slabs. If you notice, butas sa taas so that it won't glitch during the render and stuff. But the problem there is you won't have a volume, so you could actually just hide it when you save your scenes, but for now, let's just do a lazy way first. This one's lazy. Where's my ceiling there? Okay. This is level 2, architectural finishing ceiling. This is... Yeah, we are actually inside the interior group. You can also assign if you have more time. Level 3 interior or architectural finishing ceiling. This is a glass partition, so I could actually explode this as well. I will call everything here a sanitary ware. Let's try to include this for now. Let's see what happens. Level 3 equipment. We are used to calling this part of plumbing. However, plumbing actually refers more towards these ones, piping and stuff. So these are like fixture. Actually, that's part of carpentry as well. So we'll put this under equipment first. Q, sanitary. Okay, whatever seems fit. Select doors. Architectural door. These are our built-in furniture. Right click, building elements, level 3, interior furniture. Do I call this furniture or equipment? We will call this equipment because let's just say that these are the fixed furniture, fixture, and then furniture are these detachable ones or owner supplied ones. Okay, let's just term it like that. So I have to explode this actually because these are finishing walls. Level 3 architectural finishing wall. And then this is a mirror. Oh, I know this is a glass partition. So let's go to equipment. Plumbing. Should this be part of sanitary or interior partition? Okay. We will call this level 3 interior furniture. Alright, and let's do that with the rest of the floors. So you actually see our interiors have been retagged and removed. Okay. So what I'll do here, because it's all into one group, I want to divide them per floor. So I could just copy that and make the lines and then group. However, this is where the make face will come in. So that becomes one whole solid if you don't want to make it hollow. See that? Because if you group it, it might be hollow later on. This is just so I can get the volume of cement, and as well as, you know, easily compute for it. So what happens is I select everything and use that. It becomes solid. So the name of the plugin is called SU Make Face. I'll put it into level 3 architectural wall, level 2 and level 1. Nothing is left because they are all arranged outside. This one to level 3, this one to level 2, and this one to level 1, so I can see them in the plan like this. Alright, now I need to do the same thing as well to the others. I can just also cut and paste. It's the same thing actually, it just goes inside the other level. But that depends if you're visually mobilizing it or if you want to do it in the outliner as well. See? You can actually go here to the right side. Let's see. For this one, I can see everything or every group inside this second floor. These are everything. So if I click on them one by one, it highlights all of the groups. But if you want to do this and just go inside manually, no problem as well. Same thing here. 3, group that, cut, and paste here. Orange, right? I called this building element level 2 architectural finishing wall, or I can go towards shading. Depends really what you're using it for or the material. For now I'll call it my finishing wall because I want to see it in the plan as well, while this is called shading because my ledges are not really seen in the plans. I want to do the same thing here just by cutting. I'll use my arrow key, my left arrow, to make it clip. Wait, in that case, yeah, that's okay. And then group this outside into level 3 architectural finishing wall. Ta-ding! It's now here. See? Finishing wall and shading. So if I actually want to select all of the shading, I go to the left, right click, select all tagged, and these are all the shading groups that I've made. I can also see them here selected in the outliner. So that's the importance of tags, layers. If you check our workflow actually for layout, the layering system was very simple. We only have like floor, walls, ceiling, that's it. And it's up to you how far you want to go. Well, with this extension, they made it so because they are using these names in their workflow as well. Level 1, architectural wall. Something like that. So that if they work with interior designers, they could easily just get the components they need. They can easily just hide the windows and walls. So now that everything has been tagged, hopefully, right click, building elements, architectural finishing floor. I did not add structural yet. Well, it should already have been modeled, but let's see. That our lights will be in electrical, okay. So this time it's mixed with the ceiling, just like in our workflow. I'll just select all the lamps, right click, I think this is second floor, electrical. Import the tags. Let's see if there's a lighting fixture in electrical generator, light fixture, there we go. What color is it? Anong kulay niya? It's actually dark orange or red orange. Okay. Don't forget to save because everything you have done in a very short amount of time might easily be gone or not recovered in case something happens. Remember, everything that is fixed, actually you can call it your fixture, but I'm going to put it under furniture of the equipment. So that's letter Q, which stands for equipment or other stuff that are not listed in the other stuff. Remember, light fixture again, it's in electrical, and then go to light fixture. For this one's in the kitchen, let's term first the appliances separately. Building elements level 1. Electrical, no, appliance, equipment, electrical appliance. Okay, and this will fall under the Q, furniture. Fixture dapat para mas mabilis. Because interior only has, oh well, we can call it equipment. Pero parang mas strict ko tong equipment, furniture. It's not a furniture naman. Anyways, we can change that later on. This will be an electrical fixture. We'll put it under appliance. And then our lights and electrical fixture. So let's see later on if we need to change the layers. There's no problem. It's a nice thing with just right clicking and using this plugin or extension. Oh, see, a plant. Why do I need a plant for? It's for rendering usually, so I can put that as part of decoration. But what I'm going to do is just put all of these under furniture, the TV under appliance. So I can cut this and paste it, or right click directly in towards electrical appliance. Equipment, electrical appliance. This is a finishing wall. It's part of the site, but I actually 𝗔𝗩𝗔𝗬𝗢𝗨𝗧 ko yung site fencing here, or the firewall, as part of the building. So I'll put this as part of the first floor plan as well, so I could see it in my floor plan, because I'm not sure if I might not see them later on if I don't use the correct tags. Sanitary, door. I don't need these landscape assets. Actually, I could delete those plants for now. This is part of sanitary. So, because I'm going to buy that in the hardware, right? So I need to put it as part of my equipment, sanitary equipment, I guess. This one, I think this is part of the wall. Inside. Okay. So I'll put this part of finishing wall. And our this is a fixture. I'll just put them as part of decoration. Alright. Right click, interior decoration. And these are furniture. Well, it's also correct grammar to say furnitures. Furniture is also plural terms. It depends on how you use the grammar and what you researched on. But anyways, that's not my intention for now. And let's see. I hid actually the walls there. Everything is colored by tag, yes. And now let's try the auto name. Turn out my wow, that sounded weird. So I turn out my outliner and see that everything is called group, right? And then I just click on auto name, set. 𝗔𝗩𝗔𝗬𝗢𝗨𝗧. Now it's been renamed. Everything outside the site, geographic, third floor. What is this? Building element part. So these ones have not been tagged yet. Oh, okay, that was from the second floor. But if I actually open them and I tag them properly, and then they will have names. Okay, like bed small actually followed the name of the entity info. Entity info is when you make a group or component tapos naglagay ka ng pangalan. So you can actually right click entity info, and then you can write there bed small. So in bed small, that's the name, bed small. Alright, I think I have to explode that. This is a component kasi to make it lighter because of a similar mirrored group. Anyways, what I will do, since I can easily find the things without a name, I can go to the artstat group like this one and then assign a name. And then what I will do, by auto name, I'll remove everything so it turns back into the word group, pero they are in the right layer this time. Look for that building element part. This one I will call it building element level 1 architecture finishing wall. This will be level 1 architectural shade. This will be level 2 finishing wall as well. What else? This one, where is this? I click on move. Okay, finishing wall. If this is actually inside the group of a finishing wall, then there's no need to rename much. It will just follow the name of the group. Okay. Explode this. Let's get all of our fixture and or carpentry. Should I say equipment furniture again? And this will be the portable furniture, so I'll just put it in interior furniture, so I don't need to see it in the plan if I would just want to look at the floor. Depends on you really, or what standard you're using. It's everything here except the partition. I'll put it under sanitary, even if water fixture is not sanitary. Level 2 equipment sanitary. And this will be a partition. Interior partition. Okay, where am I now? Check my outliner. I still see everything without a layered name. You could actually just skip to this part, but almost all my videos keep skipping. So let me spend time with you because... What? It's not a floor. Because... baka bored na kayo. And really, my short videos, I don't know if I'm good at making those, so to those who are bored in life, you can just stay with me here. I already renamed this. I mean, they already have a tag, see? So this will be renamed later on with the auto name. Not on group 92, and actually if you see this one, I mistagged their level. It should be level 2 interior, not level 1. So it transferred. So it actually went up here. I guess that would suffice, right? Anyways, we can always improve them later on if we have more time. There should be a slab here. Did I delete it? I'm not sure. Yes, it's in structural. Okay. So let's go to auto name, remove everything. Wait, what does edit do? Let's see, auto name edit. Not yet available. Okay. Auto name set. Ta-dang. Now see that everything in our outliner, door, followed the name of the tag. So if this is under layer window, in the outliner it should be... Bakit wall? Nako po. Wrong information daw art. Fake news. Okay, let's do it again. Right click, building elements, level 1. Or you can go here and a window. Okay, let's try to rename. Remove. And do it again. Okay, where is that? There, see? Window, 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 window. Yay. And actually, if this window has an entity info, let's say I call this W1, it's going to be called window 1 in the group. Let's try that. Window 1, window 2. But I think lang ha, this is supposed to be for components, not groups. Right now this isn't a group, eh? what's the benefit of making it on a component? If I call this W5 and I double click, I could easily see all the other instances of W5. This one, wala pa ang butas eh. Ano ba yan? Bakit ganito ang modeling nyo, sir? For record's sake, this is not my model. That's why you should model properly. Alright. Let's try again. So let's try to rename and see. The name is called group set. The name is still group because it's not a component, it just followed the group name of the window. Okay, that's why it's better to make it a component, so that you will have, you know, if you make it a component, you have more data, such as the volume, the width, attributes such as the size or pricing, however detailed you want it to be. That's a nice thing with SketchUp, is you can always detail it further if you have the time. See? Ding. Okay, so there was already a door there. Anyways, let's go to the next step, which will be scenes, right? In our workflow, you do everything one step at a time because it's actually step by step and the procedure is very short. However, with this plugin, it creates section planes for you through this extension. So I deleted all of my scenes so it will create yung kasalanan para sa akin. I mean, all my sins. Scenes. Accidentally deleted my wall here. Nako naman. So anyways, I'll just show you how I made it. I did something. What's this? Poste. Okay. So I actually did something like this to get my spandrel under the roof. Oh no, I mean my walls below the roof. Cha-ching. Okay, unhide and I go up. Cha-ching. I go inside the group of the roof, and my shortcut is Alt-Shift-C for context. Or you could do this intersect faces with context. Okay, and then I hide this. See that? That's the line. And double click to cut. Okay, delete this one and paste in place. Control-Shift-V. So this is kind of an advanced shortcut if you're sanay na. If you already know your muscle memory, just like playing the guitar. You can just go back and forth as long as you remember where you are. So the person who knows himself knows where he's going. Huh? Who though? See, that's how it looks like. It's nothing changed except everything was organized. So it's like we did a surgery. The outside looks the same, but we operated with the internal organs by making sure that they are functioning properly and in place. So see that? That's the use of color by tag, so we can easily see the tags. How I used this before was by material: metal, concrete, aluminum. But you can also do that here because it actually added a tag for materials itself. However, that will become bigger because it's a group within a group. Let's not go into that for now. Let's go to scenes. What you do is to save, alright? Save as CTRLS. Anyways, this is my shortcut is the tilde if you see the keyboard. Alright. Now let's go. This time I will put the levels. Alright, so I have floor 1, floor 2, floor 3. That's 3 meters. Let's measure if this is 3 meters till the top of the roof. 3.32, so 3320, enter. And then I will call this top of roof or just roof line. And actually Our building officials are checking the roof towards the top, 0.79. The standard in this place is actually 0.76, okay? But let's just put it here, 790 millimeters. Top of firewall. You can type top of firewall, but the thing is this will get saved as the scene names. What do I mean? Let's check. Oh wait, I have a natural grade line, not gonna lie, NGL from my finished level. Lag, RTX na naglalag. Okay, let's click on the cellphone. Ta-ding! And click on the up arrow to my road level. It's actually 1.02 meters. Did I need to zoom in? Paano na kaya mag-zoom in? So I'm going to type, not gonna lie, is negative 1.02. Wait, save. The thing is, I think it will base everything from this origin. So I will go to view, look at my axis. I think it's going to base everything on that axis. See, from that axis, and 5 cm upward is actually my floor finish line. So let's just call that my floor finish, okay? So actually my not gonna lie is going to be here. Look at 5.94. It's going to be 1.04. Wrong information. 1.04 is actually 1004. Okay, save. Let's do a trial scene for now. What we do is actually go, I can hear the cat, to this magic wand. If you click everything, it's going to click everything, so don't click everything. Let's just try front elevation. One click. Ta-ding! Auto creating scenes. Please wait. So it created the front scene called front. Please wait. Okay, I'm waiting. It took too long, so I just exited it. Anyways, so the magic here actually is, if I click on auto level, display it to the left side, ta-ding! See? The not gonna lie is going to get it from there. And the floor finish line, or my F wall, F1, is actually exactly where the origin is. So what I actually should be doing is to adjust the whole model down, or I can dayain ko by bringing this up. Daya is to cheat. However, if you see, it's not exactly. Oh, it's supposed to be 1.04, not 0.04. Kaya pala hindi tugma. Okay, let's try it again. Wait, what? What did I say? We will go upwards. Could we? The question is, could we go upwards? Yes, the level should actually be 50 centimeters higher. And that means my not gonna lie is, I think, still 1.04, right? Yes. But actually, maybe I will get it from the center point, 0.75. Okay, from the center point of my road. But it should be from lot to lot. Anyways, let's get it from the inner. We'll call it negative 750, right? Negative 750, and this is 50. Wait, it says level, so why can't I not gonna lie it? That's weird. Maybe it does not calculate from not gonna lie until the level. Anyways, I call it underground. There, B1. Not gonna lie is 104, but the height is 104. I mean, no cut height. Do I cut it? Anyways, let's see. Does it work? So it says I have two not gonna lies. One is 54. This is supposed to be the basement level line, but I changed it to not gonna lie. You know, diskarte lang. Work around. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, then maybe whatever. 𝗔𝗬𝗢𝗢𝗡. So we'll delete that and see. This one hit my floor line, yes. And my not gonna lie actually went to my carport. No, what's this? My lanai line. So it went to 0, elevation 0 actually. Let's do this again. So roof line, firewall, okay. Let's try this. Where it went wrong. So it's like we are IT techs. IT people actually always troubleshoot. Not everything is right the first time if we are still experimenting, right? However, if we already know what to do, we will use this experimentation as a learning progress. So let's see that. The roof line height is actually the 790. Save. And then do it again. There. Okay, sakto. So it's not exactly 790. That means I have to check my model info. Make the display precision maybe 3 decimal points from the roof. Go up here. It's actually 80 because I got it from here. I can actually get it from there. It will be easier. No problem. 780, it's checked. So the 80, 800. And then for this one, I have to go 1.04 below, right? So let's check. It's actually negative, right? This is the height of the basement. This is the cut height. This is the ground line. Or should I say elevation 0. However, we based everything from the middle. Right. That's weird. But it says 54. So actually this one. So if my height is 304, it becomes 254. If my height is 104, it's 54. 1,000, 10,000. This is C, whatever happens. It went below, yes. But it went below 95.4 centimeters from elevation 0. Right, from here. Let's check. Model info, display precision times. Yes, we are correct. So it's basing everything from this one. But we will not call that not gonna lie because it's gonna lie. We'll call this it's supposed to be the natural, the slab line, okay? Top of roof beam or grade beam. Top of grade beam na lang. And then auto level. 𝗔𝗎𝗓𝗓, yun. So our grade beam actually terminates here. And then this will be our floor finish. That's what it means. Okay. So actually we have to fix the model when we go to the structural that this is the top of the grade beam because this is the floor finish. Right. It makes it kind of hard because every floor finish inside is actually elevated by 5 cm. But it makes it also harder outside if we call this the finish line because this is actually easier to do during structural works. To put the grade beam or the top of the beam levels there. But we'll always base it on the finish line so it will not be hard for our doors and windows later on if we are getting a reference like our balconies. We'll base it from the interior finish line instead of the top of the grade beam. That is what was standard being used. And then for this one I wanted to use the middle actually of the slope. So I wanted to use this one as the natural grade line. However, I think since this is a duplex, this is the middle of the lot. Okay. Anyways, let's see that this is the middle of the property, this right side property. Then we can actually get the height, which is not 1, but model info 𝗍𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫 one should actually be equal to 55. This is grade beam on elevation 0. When we tried to edit this kasi a while ago, see, this one adjusted. That's why I didn't want to move that. So to make this 55, I go 1000 minus 400. So 604. Tama ba? It becomes 554, so just 600. Okay, save, auto level. Ding. And then display precision 3. Correct. Oh no, wrong. Look that. I knew that the 55 will come from... I measured from here. I should have measured from here. Top of the grade beam. Yun na naman. So I'll just get the top of the floor finish line. I'll just get the floor finish line minus 5. So that will be 700. Okay, last. You can actually skip all of this part. This should have been a live video, pero I'm nahihiya. Nahihiya, tapos. Check. No, it didn't reach the middle. Why not? Oh yeah, because of the 50, right? Hit. Alright, congratulations team. So long just for that. Anyways, we're enjoying, right? So it's just like watching a movie in 6 minutes. Okay, so now we have, not gonna lie, in our grade beam. This one can be adjusted later in layout, or you can actually adjust the font size here depending how near you are to the screen. For this, I just move it to the left or to the right, I mean. Something like that. Okay, so if I delete this, maybe it will be nearer. Maybe, just maybe. Auto level. Nah, still 4. The question is there an offset for that? Offset 0. It moved nearer, but not so much. Let's try again. Display dimension, okay, slash, okay, negative, what if it's negative 500? Cannot be. Let's try level prefix ASDF. Oh, okay, so this is FFL, right? Floor finish line, so we can actually put that and our label FFL or finish line. It will say finish line plus 0.5. Okay, finish line plus 50 cm, 5 cm. There. This ones don't actually need the word finish line. Leave it there for now and move 4 meters towards the right. Okay. Okay, so let's do this with all the scenes. I'll show you the magic trick. Let me delete this front scene first. Okay. If you actually notice, this one goes into a layer called VBO scene front, because VBO scenes are called front For us, we call it F, but it depends on your workflow and preference. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to one-click everything. Ready? Maybe just the building. So let me deselect this one. Yeah, that's fine. Even if it's including site dev. And biddling, high dress of model, okay. Go! Bug splat. Joke lang. So auto creating scenes, how many scenes will there be? 17? 18? 19? Tamad na ako magsalita, pero copyrighted kasi ang mga background music kaya hindi ako makapili ng background music, mga guys. My bed. That's a master bedroom. My bed. Tama lang naman, the owner is a mother. So it's my bed. Mama's bed. Anyways. So what happened was the cell phone turned off. If you notice, I'm not using a screen recorder. Anyways, I have no time limit that I thought of for this video, so just treat it like a live video. What's that? What am I seeing? Okay, let's continue. Where were we? One click, right? So we have a lot of scenes created. Let's start with the first scene. So it's gonna be hard to keep doing this. So you can just go to this search. And the first scene is the modeling scene, which we used for tags. So tag off, tag color on. Here and towards the left side. See, use my finger as a pointer. Oh, I know, I can just do like this. Here. Okay. 3D scene. Top view is like our site development. If I turn out the tags, what I can actually use this for, this is level 3 roof, right? So I can go to my level, to my roof, which is a roof. And then, wait, actually, it already added a material called 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗽𝗾. If you see that up here, this one, 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗽. So this plugin actually adds materials here. So 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗽, I could actually make it transparent. See that? These are all my roofings. This one's. Should I make it translucent? Transparent? Let's see. If, for example, I would like this to be my site dev, and I would like to use this one, then I have to retain the colors by tag, unless I change all of them, right? Or, if I change the color into flat black and white, and make my roofing translucent, then it can go like that. Another way is I can also change it to hidden line. See that? So if I make it hidden line and transparent, then it's gonna look like that. Like our normal drafting, right? Ta-ding! But for now, let's keep the default or original that came with the extension. So our next is the front view, which we saw earlier. Default, back, left, and right. So these elevations until the section 1, 2, 3, and 4, you can actually choose. Section 1 is from left side view, section 2 is from the right side, section 3 is from the front, and if you see that, there's a section goes upward and downward. That's for our floor plans and ceilings. F1 is a floor plan for architectural in the 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗽𝗾 objects workflow or VBO workflow, which everything is just shaded with texture and colored. Now for plans, actually, we have something here in basic. I don't know where it is, but if you load a dynamic component, let's look for one. This is why I told them to use our workflow. So anyways, in volume 4 dynamic motions, dynamic doors and windows, let's get a swing door. So door single solid. Okay, if we load that into the model, this already comes with 2 tags. This tag is the 2D graphic that shows in the floor plans, and this is the 3D object that shows in elevations. So if we replace that with this bathroom door, Let's try to do it. And I'm using shortcut keys on my keyboard, if you can see, just like that. For our flip, I actually assigned shortcuts for that. And then we will replace it with this door. The nice thing with dynamic objects is that you can rescale it like this, and you will see that the door jamb is still the same size, does not get resized. Okay, so bye door. We have a new door here right now. Where did I put it? I deleted it. Okay. Oh, come back. Okay, this is the one I don't want. This is the one I don't want. And there's the one I want. So what's gonna happen is, if you look here, 3D object is off. It's just a plan view. So I'm gonna put this inside as part of the door group. Okay, building elements, level 1 architectural door, and then it gets tagged. So if I actually go to my floor plan 1, see that in my floor plan I disable this one, 3D object, even for Windows actually. It's gonna look like that. However, now I can see that the swing might actually hit the lavatory. That means I have to use a smaller door or adjust. Also have an adjusted lavatory. You can find small ones. May mga maliliit dyan sa mga hardware. So this is architectural. What finishing does is it turns off the tags of the interior furniture. Okay, so I'm wondering, where did this fall under? This fell under interior furniture. Okay, finishing turned off equipment, so our fixture. So that means we can only see the things that will be bought by the owner, aside from the shell. Okay, these ones. And finishing is also good to show our tile works, floor finishes, and wall finishes as well. Okay, next we have ceiling. So what ceiling actually did was looked from below. The problem with this, it's flipped or it's mirrored. Oh no. So if you actually check this one out, this is the bathroom, powder room. It went here. So what you could actually do here is you go over to layout and then flip this thing. Okay, that's what you can do, but actually I don't do that. I have another method, which I use my reflected ceiling plan method from the top view, if you check our other tutorials. However, let me analyze if there's a rotate tool that can be done here. Preview paper. This one actually has a scale that says 1:100. If I try 1:75, this could actually scale the viewport of the layout paper. That's why we also have a viewport tag somewhere here. Anyways, the next scene will be dim for dimensions. So if you see, everything was turned into black and white, and you could easily add your dimension in layout. Like that, okay? Or you could also choose to turn off these tags or layers if you just want wall dimensions and stuff like that. Next, we have the engineering style, which I actually like using this for dimensions because the rest of the equipment inside gets faded. So I customize this by turning off 3D object. This one. And then I also turn off things that get sectioned that are not part of the walls, like equipment, refrigerator, TV, stuff like that. So it might get confusing, that's why. I can just hide it by pressing letter H, something like that. Or I could use the 2D version of this and place it below and put it under the 2D tag. And lastly, we have the style for structural. This is supposed to only leave your columns, beams, and stuff like that what we didn't finish them. Okay, so actually this furniture should have been organized as well. It looks like our furniture here was not organized, that's why. I'll put this under the tag I interior, I guess. And I think that should have been off. Cha-ching. Could always update them later on. Same thing goes with our second floor until the third floor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete some scenes maybe and keep one or two. Alright? I'd like to keep the dimension style view and maybe the finishing style. Alright? So I can choose between these styles right here, which was also customized by VBO. I personally like this gray style. Open something like this, the scene tray. I got it from Window. I made my own tray and add scenes along with my tags. Click on this arrow to see below. Alright. Anyways, I will delete everything again, I guess, to show you the ones I choose. Delete. Yes. Please don't turn off. Bunking pa din camera. Anyways, before we could use like these auto stuff, it's better to have like the scene, because if I use auto grid without the scene, it won't detect. This actually works with Queryx single line text. I have this one that I'm using before where I manually type it because I can get a nice architectural font. You could choose to do that with our workflow. Oh yeah, forgot, this is SketchUp 2024, so there is ambient occlusion. I use the hotkey M because I use move instead of M. I made it into letter V. And let's go back to the magic wand. I need all elevations, yes. Maybe just the top view. Maybe a front section and right side for the stairs. Okay. Or maybe the, should I get the back for the stairs? However, workers will usually look at the front, but they also start at the back. Anyways, I'll get the engineering one and maybe the finishing one, or architectural. Okay, let's go. Ding, ding, ding. So we have lesser scenes than before. Mas konti na ating mga kasalanan, pero ganun pa rin. 15 scenes have been created. Thank you. Welcome. Now I could see this not gonna lie scene is what I don't need. So what could have happened, instead of clicking all levels, just check the ones you need. So I didn't need this not gonna lie. I'll just delete that. I could right click, press letter D for delete, because it's the first letter. Or I could go here and delete it. Okay, so top view. I will edit this later on as my SDP. Front view. We will try the one we did earlier, alright? Auto level. Cha-ching. Okay, let's check it again. Windows, model info, display precision, 2 decimal points. We have 70 cm from the grade beam, top of grade beam below. Floor finish line is 5 cm above grade beam or the slab until the firewall line. That is correct. So if I go to another scene, it disappeared. Why? Because it made its own tag. Pag sinabi kong tag, layers. It made its own layer for this scene and we call it somewhere here. It's called scene. Do I need to show you guys? Yes, it's actually in the VBO scene front. Actually, if it's all set up as VBO tags, which let's try right now. How do I do that? If I set it, if I import all of the VBO tags actually, then what's gonna happen is it's going to arrange all my tag system. Building elements, story tags, material tags. Okay, let's just import all those we think might be needed. Scene tags, wala ata eh. 25 materials have been added to the model. Check natin. See, there. Now I found it. Material tags, all brick, carports instead of using these materials. And then we have these scene tags. So the VBO scene got sent here. Ta-ding. And that's what it's going to do with the rest of our scenes. Like for the left, you do not see this front scene tag, right? And it has like this border or background. So in case you have a drawing right beneath it, no problem. So let's just keep on clicking that. Don't worry if the units are always set to 0 at first. We'll edit that later on, because if we edit it now, we have to do it again. This time I want to adjust the section. So if I see this section, actually, why are there 2? Oh yeah, because I made 4 sections earlier, right? Okay, so the one that gets highlighted, I want it to show the stairs. All sections showing the stairs would be very logical, because that is where we see the flight that connects the levels. Now if I only have my structural slab here, I could actually see a better section view, right? No, not this one. Yeah, it's actually this one. So let me delete this one. This, okay, that's from earlier, that's why. Update that. See, I see everything, but I do not see my slab, because I only made the finishing floor. Well, actually, I was not the one who made it. That's why I'm trying to fix somebody else's model. It was my planning and design, but the modeling was not that fixed. So if you actually have something here like called slab, which includes the beams, let's say, or a structural model, then you can put it under the material or building element, structural slab. See, it will look like this, especially if you have your beams, and then your ceiling will go like that. Let's check it out. Lumilipad yung mga doors and fixture natin, no? I have a plugin called 𝗷𝗬𝗢𝗔𝗕 where actually everything just falls down by itself. You want to know my shortcut? My shortcut is actually Shift and D. Let's try it now. Shift D. Oh, wait, I click Shift S. 1, 2, 3. Chook. There, it just fell down. But even my window fell down. So let me deselect the window. Shift D. It's a plugin called 𝗷𝗬𝗢𝗔𝗕, right? Maybe we can check that in second floor, or F2 for floor 2 architectural. That's the one. Floating. Okay. So for F2, I actually want to hide everything below. So I go here to building stories level. I had a basement, level 1, and level 3, 4, 5. So only level 2 gets visible. Update that. Or Shift 3 for my update. I do the same thing for the other scenes, whatever I want to see or don't want to see. Because if I see this, if I disable my section, everything gets seen. I want everything to be seen. So I go to that scene first and hide everything that's irrelevant to the drawing, and then Shift 3 to update. Why this takes very long compared to, you know, the original workflow that I was showing is because we're trying to explain along the way. We're experimenting, we're troubleshooting, we're doing trial and error and all the wrong things, because the model itself was not separated properly at first. The groups were not labeled properly, or neither were they actually tagged properly. So that's a problem with draftsmen or architects, engineers who think that SketchUp is just for rendering, then they will not set it up for building information modeling. Now, in our workflow, we provided some templates that just scratches the little surface. Konting tikim lang ng beam pero hindi pa masyado. Because it's really hard to explain once you are not following IFC standards or whatever. So actually, if you try a software like Revit or ArchiCAD, you will be forced by the software to follow the standard. So there are already standard templates, standard graphics, also the levels, but then it will be hard to customize. But since most of us are Asians, right? We like our freedom. That's why if you go to Southeast Asia server, you will know the difference. We don't want to be super constrained, but actually, if you look at other East Asian countries, the teamwork is very good. But you compare it with Western games. Okay, let's go back to the topic, which is SketchUp. Architectural, and then architectural with the fully furnished colors as well. Some building permit checkers, except colored. But what I would like to do is I would want one like this and then one in grayscale so that I can easily put dimensions here. While the other one will be like for finishing, especially during interior fit outs. While I'm at it, maybe we could insert or import my dynamic structural. Let's try the column frame. Let's check this column frame first. I experimented on this one years back. Column frame comes with the footing column, and then the column. So it already has its own tags, which is similar to VBO but not exactly the same. So we can actually transfer them to VBO's tag system. But since this has the word column, this has the word footing, I think we will do just fine. What we only need now are the beams. So let's import maybe beam 1. Do I have a beam 1 right here? I don't know if I have beam 1, beam 2, but right now it's just the beam. Nice thing with these beams is I can just edit them on top view. You cannot really see it right now, so I'm gonna go to white mode. Ganun, cannot really see. So I have to enable my structural columns. And what's my beam called? I even have another version of a beam where you can like visualize the reinforcement. Except it's not that accurate. So what I could actually do here is like go to component options and then adjust the spacing. So anyway, my beam is 30 by 40 or 25 by 40. Okay, length will differ. So we can use this one, you know, just for visualization. But you need to follow the analysis that has been made already. Okay. Column is, where is my component options? 25 by 25. Okay. And I'll pair it with this one. It's actually 30 by 40. I could actually enable the toolbar for dynamic components. Imagine Motion's workflow actually is these templates, such as the SketchUp template, layout template, and dynamic component. But now we are trying to look at the extension that automates the process, maybe by half. This is 30 by 40, column height 300, let's say. And then for this one, 30 by 40, let's pair it. Maybe footing is 120 by 120. Depth is 200. And maybe 40, something like that. Okay. And then let's copy this. So this should have been already laid out and modeled before sending it. to layout, but you know, if people are rushing, they tend to just use it for rendering. Now we are using it for BIM, Imagine Motions, or building information modeling. We'll try to use this beam for the clear span. Okay, this one. Times 2, I guess. Here. 2. This should actually be center to center. Here. Now the nice thing with this one, example, you're in top view, just like this. This is what I made so that you could easily change it without stretching all scales. What do I mean? So that you don't have to scale it this way, just horizontally or vertically. Change this to 25 by 25. If you actually see the entity name of this one, this is called S footing. We will call it like footing 1 or footing 2, and this one will be footing 1, something like that. Footing depth 1, footing depth 2. Why? Because we change the scale, it creates a unique component. So actually this one we need to copy from here so that it will not change the name. Okay, copy both like that. Oh, I didn't lock it on the axis. Anyways, so I use, do you see how that went down? I use my Shift D. Shift D. That's my shortcut for drop GC. Okay, just continue to work on that. You can actually hold down Shift or use the arrow key. So while holding down Shift, I enabled my X-ray button, this one, or my shortcut, this Shift X. See that? So it depends how detailed you want it to be. Okay. Well, I think for this one, I'm not sure if I made it into 𝗔𝗬𝗢𝗔𝗕𝗟𝗏. So I worked on this a long time ago. I was playing around with dynamic components. I wanted my own. What if I wanted it to be like an edge footing, something like that? It goes the other way, so I have to flip it, right? So I'll do that to everybody. Go right, and then let's go to the left. So if you see, I'm working on shortcuts only on this side of the keyboard. That's the reason why I changed the hotkeys. I don't want to keep going around like this, that's why. But it's up to you, bahala ka. Alright. And next, what else? This one? We can get the center. I think they use the same center here in the actual construction. If we actually check, this is an actual construction. It's already actually ongoing. But I'm just using the render model to show how we could use the VBO BIM objects. See, this is actually done in layout. These are overlaid. It was a lot faster. But we want something, if it's already in 3D, if we have this in 3D, it's very easy to explain. You just have to print it out and bring it to the site, right? But in 2D or in layout, you have to keep on going back and forth to check on their actual work. So let's see if they really did properly. We have the first layout. Actually, right now, maybe we are already in 2, 3, third floor. See that? Anyways, that is the importance of building information modeling, because right now you do not feel the effects. Kala mo drawing lang. But all these lines, even the simple offset, will affect your actual construction. So in order to draft or to model properly, it's always best to go to the construction site and learn. Also handle people, or also canvas materials, learn about structural integrity also from your structural engineering friends. If you know how to use STAAD, then why not, right? Okay, so where are we now? We just used this one. 90 degrees. I am holding down the shift so it won't go up, because I always think in 3D. Okay, something like that. Wherever you think you're most comfortable with. Other people tell you to get out of your comfort zone, but right now I'm just more effective when I'm comfy. Okay, something like that. So if you continue doing that, you will get something in a section that shows the beam and the columns. So you'll have beams here like this we have right now. This is the top of the beam, right? The grade beam. And this is the finished floor line, or the floor finish line. That's why we have that earlier in our front elevation. Even if we were just looking at the 2D, I was already thinking in 3D. And you can go as far as 4D, which is, I think, time. And then this is 5D plus, because maybe let's add cost. So 5 dimensions. So that's the this is the top of the grade beam we just drew. Just continue doing that, and then let's focus back. Even in sections, we can use auto level. See? And then this is from my template, so I already arranged everything here as well. The only difference is Imagine Motion's workflow works by importing already set up templates, while VBO uses an extension to automate it for you. So you could actually even develop your own if you have the skills and the time to do that. And why not? Coconut. I have to model that. Anyways, as I showed you earlier, I have preset dynamic motions, right? These ones are already called columns. These are already called beams, supposedly. So I'm gonna call this beams. Right click and then put to the layer S beam. Well, it's up to you if you want to use S beam or just beam. And these are our footings. However, the nice thing here, this one works by detecting names. So for example, auto grid, okay? You know your index keys. That's the grid, alright? It works by detecting the word column and then putting it at the center. So if it does not detect the word column, then it will be hard. This letter B detected this column, and letter C detected this column. Now I need this column to be detected as well. So let's try to go inside and fix that. I could actually go inside the structural thing, but if you notice earlier, I did not put a column here. This is the exploded model from The Apprentice. Apprentice. That's why apprentices should learn, alright? Okay, so let's check. Maybe we could put one of my templates. Let's put it here. There. Okay. Okay. And we're done with our columns. So what we can actually do now is we can go auto grid from here, no problem. Cha-ching. But then it will put it inside this layer or this group. So what we actually want to do is put it on top of this section cut. So let's go to top view. We can also use this auto select. Why am I pointing? There's already a pointer. Click columns. 13 columns selected. It's gonna consider all other columns, even those that are unseen. So it will detect anything with the word column, see that? And then that's when you can do your auto grid. I want to put it left and top. Yes. Now you see that A, this one goes to B. You can actually call this A prime as well, C and D. Now this one utilizes 𝗔𝗩𝗔𝗬𝗢𝗟𝗔𝗕𝗟𝗏 single text. So they're also from Vietnam. They also work together. So let's see that 𝗔𝗩𝗔𝗬𝗢𝗟𝗔𝗕𝗟𝗏 single line text is actually this one. I haven't been using this before, but let's try to call this a prime just to see if it works. And then I think plus place text invalid option. See, I don't know how to use it yet. Anyways, maybe I click that one and change it to a plus. Let me learn about that soon. Okay, like experiment it now. I think this works similarly with dynamic components. So we will try to see, find and replace letter B. This one, display letter B. Okay, I would like to replace it with a prime. Does it work? No, I don't know yet. Let me search some tutorials. Hello, redraw text. No, everything was changed. No, everything has changed. Let's do it again. No. Oh, no. Undo. Okay, let's go to B. A prime. Redraw. Ta-dang, it didn't work. Anyways, I'm okay with B. No problem. And go there again. Auto grid. Copy the grid data from level 1 below. Yes, of course. Ta-dang. So even if I don't have my columns up here yet, I can actually copy the grid data. So this looks very architectural, even though I want to show the structural part. And then this one should be the same as the elevations. So we will also use the same thing called auto grid. Remember, I have my front elevation with the levels. Now I click on auto grid, and we have the same grid from earlier, center to center. You can put this on the edge if you're very particular about setbacks. However, I don't want that one below. So I'm gonna click on top. Ta-dang! And it has the overall dimension as well. Now if you're done with everything, you can go back to display precision. 2 decimal points is fine with me. And I think this was not centered properly. It was centered towards it's centered towards my column, not my wall. Okay, that's good because it's a column grid, so that's why it's called the grid line. Well, I was thinking to do the same thing with our dimensions as well, but you can do that in layout as well. Or here, it depends on you actually. But then it will not create a scene for you, you have to manually do it. In order to do that, you need to familiarize yourself more with SketchUp. Especially that for me, I focus more on dynamic components. Why? Because you can actually add attributes in components. For example, if this is a component called wall, you can actually put the price, sizing, a link that opens a website, the type or the IFC type, which is also part of VBO's Auto IFC. So if you set everything will be classified so that you can import it into Revit or ArchiCAD. Let's check our outliner. Right, earlier it was just like group, wall, something like that. IFC does something that goes international. What we usually used before was the CSI master format, right? You know that, the 16 divisions. Now IFC also has something like that, but from the site to the building to the site element, everything. It arranges everything by floor, like level 1 is selected, just like in Revit, right? Floor 1, level 2, level 3. Very similar, that's why actually you can use SketchUp as building information modeling. The only difference is instead of spending time on right-clicking properties, you're also working like you're enjoying modeling as well. 2-in-1, why not? And a lot cheaper as well. That's all personal preference and industry standard. SketchUp. Select columns. Yes, sir. SketchUp. Select doors. Yes, sir. 17 doors selected. SketchUp, select furniture. Yes sir, 28 furniture detected. Wow, see, they are all in groups, right? But if this one selects, it's like a deep select. I think this is also from VBO or Keurig. Anyway, they all know each other and work with each other. KCDA, VBO, Keurig, I've heard those names ever since we were also starting our workflow to be published. SketchUp, select all windows. Okay sir, windows selected. So if only there's another option that says create window schedule. Yes sir, then I would be very happy. But this is actually already very nice. I can't say it's more than enough because I want more. So it's either I myself develop it or I wait for them, and not everything comes freely. Create window schedule. Sana. Anyways, this is the auto VBO. What I have here are my dynamic. This one is from Imagine, the one that you drag and drop. My workflow as much as possible is lessening exploded drawings and more of drag and dropping. Revise and editing. Sounds like Revit, right? Revit, revise, edit. Pushing and pulling, because I think that is the strongest feature that we like in SketchUp in the first place, was the very easy push and pull. So if I could do that with components or dynamic components, I can just scale and rescale. It will be very awesome. To work as BIM, just familiarize yourself with layers or tags I put on my left side, outliner I put on my right side, and entity info. For example, if I would like to select all my walls, I can use the VBO extension, or I can go towards my outliner and hide them as well, like that. Okay, or I can go to my left side and a wall because I tagged them properly. Okay, now the other thing for entity info is like if you want an information on something such as volume, area, for area, material area, something like that, just right click, entity info, and it will be shown here. The tag, which is related to this one. The instance, which is related to the outliner name. Okay, the type, which is what you need for importing to Revit as well. So there are like very many multiple ways you could go around using SketchUp as building information modeling, because it's not just a drawing, it has information. For example, this one, it might lag. So if I keep double clicking, triple clicking, SketchUp might lag, right? But if I go to the extension or the outliner, I could go here immediately. So I could go right click entity info, see 2.42 square meters. I could also do right click area, material, or selection, 2.42 meters. If I click the whole thing and then I click all materials, then I know that all my hardy planks are 5.84 square meters. Then I know how much should I purchase. See, that is actually helping you use the model, one model, for all the blueprint, visualization, building permit, construction, purchasing, occupancy permit, visualization again, and gaming, maybe. For materials, VBO uses this one, material, into layers. So you can actually do this color by tag to see all the different materials. You can also use my workflow, which I use materials with the material. Material is metal, something like that. Now for components, you can use something like quantifier, generate report, or even VBO reports that will show you how many instances of the components are there. Okay, surface area, volume, area, length, profile members, something like that, objects. And what else? Another thing would be when you send them over to layout, all the information is already there. You don't have to type. Brings us to this one. If you see this one, this is in Imagine Motion's workflow. We are using Flat Text Light. It's a free extension. Okay, this one. But if you want to use VPO's workflow as well, you could automate it with the plugin. Just make sure that your floor has a name. For example, this is the kitchen group. This is the sala group. This is the foyer group. Foyer da, but I heard Phineas and Ferb say foyer. Anyways, group first before make component. So in my shortcut, it's G and Shift G, alright? Then I name it kitchen, okay? This one, living or sala. This one, foyer. Right, so if you right click entity info, you will see it here, living, okay? And if you use actually auto select, this will be under spaces, but right now nothing is being selected because there's no tag called spaces. Okay, if I right click this one and put it to finishing floor, I don't think it will be detected. Let's try architectural finishing floor. Spaces, none. Okay, so what I actually did was create a tag called space. I don't know if it works with zone and stuff, so you can see here, space. Okay, I put everything here. This is level 1. Instead of finishing floor, I put it under S2 space. This one, just for example's sake. So this will be under space, and then the whole thing finishing floor, and then under floor level 1. So spaces, 3 spaces selected, okay? Then I could actually do auto label. In the labeling, it's either floor or zone, but in the selection, we need to use the same name. So if I click zone, I need to select an object without child groups, okay? So this is the parent object and it has child groups. This one has no child, it has a child called flooring. So what I do, let's see if this works. Zone, okay, it doesn't work, right? Because it has a child group. If I just select that and click zone label, it will give me the floor area. And if I click on floor label, it will give me this name, right? The problem is everything has an internal group called materials. So I would like to disable that later on. Okay, so let's try everything. Space, space, space. Explode ko lang yan. I'll just explode it for demonstration's sake. Now everything does not have a child group inside. Floor label. Group 1, group 2, group 2. The reason is the name should be here in the instance. Okay, since I exploded a while ago, I will rename it again. Kitchen. Yeah, just replace it. Living. And foyer. Foyer, okay. A while ago it gave me the group name, so maybe it doesn't have to be a component. Let's try everything. Floor label, okay. Wait, let me delete this. Living, foyer, kitchen. Then I'd like the areas as well with the area. Okay, let's try it again here. What if I just like it to be zone but style number 2? Style number 2 gives you the name and the area. This is a lot better, right? Floor label style number 2. Wait, we have to go inside first. Floor label style number 2 is just the floor name. Okay. Oh, what's the difference with style number 1. It's not updated. Before it was like the shapes and stuff. Okay, right now let's think of what to defer. Earlier I said this has to be a component. Let's try it now with just a group. Okay, group, but actually group with names. So an entity info. If it's group, it's called instance. But if it's a component, it's called definition. Okay, remember that. Let's call this A, and this will be B and C. Okay, A, B, C, and we will put this under space. Wait, before that, let's try finishing floor. I think floor label will detect it. Yes, but look at that. Even if I call this group instance A, it does not reflect. That's the reason why I say make it into a component. Okay, now let's try zone. For zone, it detected it. It detected the group name, which is ABC, but it will look for the component definition. All right, so zone is a lot better, and it actually detected finishing floor. The only reason why we called it space, because when we auto select, there's no floor. It needs to be space. This one. All right, so if this one can be renamed into like floor, maybe it will detect finishing floor. However, there's so many kinds of floor. There's just a floor, I guess. Oh no, it's just finishing floor. The rest is called slab. So let's try this with the space. Okay, so this one, kitchen, right? Kitchen. And then let's put an incense. What will we call it? Kitchen. Maybe let's put the floor finish instead of the material up there. Instead of a tag, let's call it ceramic. Now let's see if it works. Auto label zone, right? Style number 2. Yes! Oh, however, ceramic becomes the bigger word. So let's try to differentiate it. The definition will, if the definition will be the material, it will be ceramic. And the instance will be kitchen. Okay? And then let's do it again. Now, the kitchen is bigger, ceramic will be the finish, and that is the floor area. What if it's style number 1? It will not show the material. Whoa, that's good, huh? However, if you see this one, it has material label. That is the use of the material tags here earlier. That's why you see a material tag group here actually called like brick, ceiling, ceramic, cladding, for the sake of labeling, I guess. So when we made this earlier into building elements, level 1 architectural finishing floor, if you notice, this becomes level 1, and then there's another group called finishing floor, and then there's another group called flooring, right? But then what happened was our information got deleted. Okay, so for example, this is living, and let's try the zone label. And see, it will not become selected because we need to put this under, or we need to click it, I mean. So let's try zone label, an object without child groups. Couldn't be, right? Next, let's try material label. I need to select one face, not one group. So I actually have to go inside and inside and inside, and that is the use actually of auto select to go within. Auto select materials, supposed to be something like that. So spaces, auto select spaces. This one, the 2 spaces are selected. And then this one has no material. Material label, I need to select one face. So material label is actually you go inside, select the face, that's flooring, and then click on that. See, this is why I guess I prefer this method, because it's a lot faster. But that depends if you are using VBO's method or workflow. Right now I'm just trying to merge both. I'm trying to do that with this other current model. And baka balang araw, ang balak ko, they say don't tell your plans because it might not come true, pero balak ko using the same concept as Vietnam and coming from Revit, we're going to utilize a setup na ituturo ko, our Imagine Motions workflow, or the Sketchup BIM. So let's say even without so much reliance on plugins, you can make the same layering organization system. Ako kasi INFJ, so medyo parang OC ako sa organization. Pero pag tinamad ako, wala na. So we'll develop a kind of workflow na it will be the same sana for everybody. Not exactly like the shapes and the styles, but you know, like the layering names. Like I don't really use this one, the materials. The scenes, we don't really need to like put there like BBO scene when you can create your own customized scene. So what the plugin actually does is it creates an edit button where you can actually edit your own scene name, diba? So like here, you could actually like change the scene name, but it has to be detected by this plugin. In my workflow, however, it's the dynamic components. Sasalpak mo lang, so you just drag and drop. So I want to merge like the two existing workflows and make it similar and capable to compete, not exactly as a BIM software, but a BIM-like software for small-scale residential projects until external references for bigger projects. What do I mean by external reference? I mean, different computers can work on the same project simultaneously, and with our Google Drive workflow, we can also update the master layout. Anyways, let's see you in the Philippines. Bye-bye!